Oh, my bad. Ashanti is setting up the PowerPoint, setting up the video and all that type of stuff. We want to ask you, can you feel the power? Can y'all feel
Yes.
the power? Now, I can't hear y'all. Can y'all feel the power? Type it in the chat. You could be like, yes. You could be like, yee. You could type, ya sabes. You know, yes, I feel the power. And if you don't feel it yet, you're about to feel it. You know, it's about to creep up. It's about to like creeping through your socks, make its way through your legs, and then it's like gonna tickle you like right here on your neck. Then it's gonna be like all up in your face, and then bam, you felt the power through your body, every bone. Y'all about to feel this power, the CCP power. You already know. Let's go. Let's get it, Santi.
All right. Well, you heard him. We have to go. We have to go. And the roles have reversed now. So Alejandro's my boss now. I mean, he's definitely knows how to act bossy. I wonder where he got it from. Well, welcome everyone again. We're going to talk a little bit about just some of the work that we do, and the work that we do is a lot of love work. We just love being around community college students. We love finding pathways to universities like UCLA, the best university in the world, no matter what anyone else say, number one. And we're hoping that you can join us, and that you can and that we can be part of your own journey as you are navigating the community college, and as you think about the institutions you want to transfer to. We want to make sure that you know that it's within your power to go anywhere you want to. Right? And if you don't mind, just going to this link just to fill out this form. That's how we get paid. I'm just kidding.
Literally.
We get paid by signature. And I need money for dinner. All right. And just kind of want to give you a heads up. This is some of the webinars that are coming up. We did a number of them last year. We added a few more this year. And our goal is really to look at how these different communities experience education, both in terms of prior to coming to the community college, at the community college, once they transfer, and to make sure that as you're navigating all of those educational spaces, that you are being celebrated at every step. All right, so I guess I'll introduce myself. My name is Santiago Bernal. I'm the Assistant Director for the Center for Community College Partnerships. And, I just do whatever Alejandro tells me to do. Perla?
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Perla Partida, and I'm currently one of the coordinators for the Los Angeles City College Partnership and the Los Angeles Harbor Community College Partnership. I'm very happy to be here. I myself was a scholar when I was at my community college, and then when I transferred over to UCLA, I became a peer advisor, and also helped coordinate the first parenting site ever. And now I'm a coordinator, so it's literally like a full circle for me, just because I've been in kind of like every level, and just wanting to be here helping other transfer students rise up, right? So I'm very excited. I did receive my graduate degree from the other school like a month and a half ago. So I'm very proud of that, because I am also first generation. So I'm the first in my family to receive all my degrees. If you need anything, have any questions, please let me know. And yeah.
Oh, Perla, do you think you can put the link? I cannot access it since I'm sharing the screen.
Oh, yeah.
The link for the sign up form?
For the attendance?
Yeah.
Yeah, please. For sure. I'll do it now.
Okay. All right. And then we have really the people who are at the heart of what we do. including my boss Alejandro. But we're gonna start with mine because mine has sacred. Whenever she speaks deepness, depth. So
Sati, please. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Fatiata Mai for short. I'm a recent grad of UCLA this past spring, and I also saw someone was a history major. So for sure, we'll talk so we can network, give you the correct correction, or as what Santiago says, partnerships, and that's one of the main pillars of CCCP. And yeah, my CCCP family, we go way deep. I participated in NPI of 2017, one of their webinars catering towards the Pacifica Pacific Islanders, and that has become my heart and my portion. So currently, I'm just relaxing, and I will begin my master's program, fully funded. Praise God. At University of Utah. I know Utah, but that's really the sub center for PI studies here in the United States. And yes, so if I can pass it on to my brother, Ale, and it's an honor to have y'all.
Thank you, my sister Mai. Thank you so much for that beautiful, powerful, introduction for us students, for us student staff. We are the backbone. We're the power right here. Us peer advisors, we're gonna be the ones kind of like talking to you the most or connecting with you, reaching out to you. So thank you so much, Mai. And my name is Alejandro Chipecua Juarez. I'm a peer advisor for CCP specifically. I'm the men of color and the formerly incarcerated system impacted peer advisor. So if you fall under any of those categories, men of color, right, masculine identity, or formerly incarcerated, the system impacted, please reach out to me. You could DM me right now. Just like that, I could add you into a group chat where we have kind of like all of our cohort, right? Just stay up to date with that type of stuff. I started CCP with Mai. We both did the Native American and Pacifica Islander site right back in 2017. And look at us now, we're in 2021. We both just graduated. My sister's headed off to her master's. I'm chilling. I'm not doing, I'm not. I'm gonna be chilling for a couple years and then I'll hit into grad school. But yeah, it's beautiful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I graduated from Mount San Antonio College. And I'm sorry, I'm like super distracted. This dog is trying to bite me, trying to attack me, trying to attack my feet. The whole time I'm trying to talk to y'all, I've been like squaring up with the dog, like.
He wants a spot like you.
He wants the spot, just like me.
Like move over.
And I'll pass it to Miguel. Sorry, to Miguel. Just because that's the homie right there. That's the mentor. That's the mentee. That's MOC, men of color right there. Let's go. Let's get it.
Hey, thank you, brother. It's a pleasure, man, an honor, to be in the space with you. Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Beltran. I recently graduated and transferred from Pasadena City College as a sociology major. I was also a part of the scholars program, from CCCP, specifically the Men of Color program. And now my journey has taken me to become a peer advisor, and I'm just here, to serve you all, in whatever way I can, whatever way you need me, I'm going to be there, and welcome. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and I'll pass the mic to, who else? Sorry about that. Sophie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. It is hot out. I hope y'all are able to stay hydrated and cool. My name is Sophie. My pronouns are she, her, they. I transferred in to UCLA from Pierce College. I am a CCCP scholar. I participated in STP with Mai. And what else? Oh, I'm finishing up my senior year at UCLA, so I got like a few more weeks and I'll be done. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Thank you. And again, you'll hear a little bit more about them from them in a moment.
Alrighty, so I did want to let you all in on the first transfer experience webinar that is happening July 17th. This is going to be our first webinar for the summer. So the first summer activity that you all can participate if this community, you identify with this community or you want to learn more about this community. Not necessarily do you have to be a parenting student. Maybe you want to learn more about parenting students, or you have a parenting student friend that you want to support and be an ally for. You can come to this webinar. It is happening July 17th. And it's from 10 a.m. To 3:30. There is a break in between, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff from talking about parenting student experiences, success stories, having admissions there, financial aid. We're going to have a raffle, all kinds of fun stuff and catered to you. So please, please, please make sure that when you get that link for the webinars, after you apply and after you complete your UC TAP, that you register to attend this webinar. And I hope to see a lot of you there.
Thank you. Thank you. Miguel?
Hello, everyone. I'm about to do the land acknowledgement. So the Center for Community College Partnerships, known as CCCP at UCLA, acknowledge the Tonga people as the traditional land caretakers of Los Angeles Basin, South Channel Islands, and are grateful to have the opportunity to work for the indigenous people in this place. As a land grant institution, we pay our respects to ancestors, elders, and our relatives, relations past, present, and emerging. You could also find more information if you go up here, native-land.california.
All right, y'all, I'll be reading the Black Lives Matter statement. To our students and colleagues in the Black community and across the diaspora, we stand with you. You are valued and an important member of our campus and off-campus community. We all need to acknowledge the challenges and work to change them. We must work together as people of color and allies, people who are concerned about our future, to eliminate these systematic disparities. We take a stand today and always because Black Lives Matter.
And I'll be reading the statement on Stop AA, Asian American and Pacific Islander hate. So CCP condemns hateful acts of violence, harassment, and rhetoric targeting against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and Desi Americans. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been an alarming increase of discrimination and violence perpetuated on the APIDA community. These acts of violence are nothing new. We are disturbed by these xenophobic, racially motivated attacks. CCP stands in solidarity and with all of our students, colleagues, and community partners who experience marginalization and threat during these times.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and read our Center for Community College Partnerships impact statement. So in its commitment to social justice and diversity, UCLA CCCP works to increase transfer rates and success of underserved community college populations by holistically equipping students with skills, knowledge of available transfer pathways to empower them to become self-advocates and leaders in their communities. UCLA CCCP contributes to the scholarship that focuses on transfer issues such as research, policymaking, publications, etc., ultimately enhancing transfer sending and transfer receptive cultures through the leadership and success of our peer mentors, scholars, and alumni, and through the collaboration of staff and faculty at universities and community colleges.
All right, and now we're going to watch our video. So this video was made when we're doing the programs in person, and we're hoping that we're gonna get there pretty soon as well. Potentially in the summer, we may already have some activities. So, but this kind of gives you a glimpse of how we used to run the programs. And let me know if the sound is okay.
Right now, you may be at a community college. No one sees you. But once you go through these
Oops.
Right now, you may be at a community college. No one sees you. But once you go through these transfer programs and you're seen, then your invisibility becomes visible. Everyone knows who you are. You're right there with the top tier guys.
A lot of students don't feel that this is a place for them. And it's really breaching that distance that exists, not necessarily physically, but mentally.
The Center for Community College Partnerships, or as it's known, CCCP, is an academic development program focused on helping students prepare and become competitively eligible for the University of California system. Our goal is really to empower students to take ownership of their education and understand what they need to do to become a competitive applicant and to be successful.
We realize that there's a gap in the educational pipeline where first generation and students from underrepresented communities are really not transferring into the UC system, specifically to UCLA. So our program is actually based on a critical race theory framework where we recognize the institutional barriers that are placed on communities of color and for first generation students.
I'm a first generation student, high school graduate, first to graduate in my family from high school, first to go to college in my family. So I didn't have any mentors. I didn't have anyone to look up to. I didn't have anyone who could kind of show me how they did it. So being a scholar, I was provided with that. I was provided with mentors.
Oh, sorry about that. Hold on.
Who could kind of show me how they did it. So being a scholar, I was provided with that. I was provided with mentors. I was provided with a community that essentially was there to guide me every step of the way, the application process, the transfer process, making sure that I was doing the best that I could academically back at community college. So the different programs provide the same resources and the same information for all students. They're just tailored a little differently to accommodate the student and provide them with a unique experience based on who they are, their identity.
First and foremost, it was free. So I mean, if you apply, the worst they could say is no. But you're living on campus for free, you're eating for free, and you're getting to sit in front of these professors for free.
We've just gotten to learn a lot about, one, the transfer student process, the college life, how to be a good student, how to go about, if you have some trouble in the areas, how to go about seeking help in those areas. And just in general, like, as being a person of color in the United States and in the educational system, like what you have been through, what you will go through, what to anticipate, and how the things that you've been through, how they can help you move forward through the educational process and through life in general, which has been really enlightening and really helpful.
They gave us workshops on how to become not only a better person, but a better student. And so I was able to incorporate those tools and use them to propel me to transfer.
You're gonna meet people, you're gonna meet actual admissions directors, you're gonna be able to talk to them about the admissions process, like the people who actually read your essays and actually look at your transcripts. To me, that's more valuable. Now, counselors at school are great and we absolutely need them, but to be able to also talk to the person that's gonna read your application and possibly even build a relationship with them to maybe even read your personal statement in the future, that is extremely important. That's gotta be the biggest reason why I think this program is important for the admissions process. There's a lot of questions that are always unanswered, and here, since they are the school, you can get all the answers anywhere.
It's amazing that this program follows you through the process of transferring and giving you the tools afterwards to help you develop into an amazing college student.
You're responsible to represent your community. Right here, you being here is your community being here as well. So going back and showing them that there's something more than just that bubble right there. And then coming here, coming to any institution and being educated is definitely gonna help our community strive.
When you're in CCCP, understand that it's a scholarship. Go back home and be proud. Like, wow, this is my first scholarship. So I don't know how many other students have already gotten scholarships before, but just, understand that it's a scholarship. This is real, and really know that your dreams are not out of reach. And this program right here is going to give you that.
As a first-generation student, as a low-income student, as a student who historically has not had access to a place like this, students feel intimidated. And it takes someone to say, come to the campus, experience the campus, feel what the campus is like. And it's really when they sit in a classroom that they start to feel like, this fits me. This is a place that I can call home.
No one has a harder struggle than the next person. We just have our own struggle, but anything's possible. And this program helps make the impossible possible. It makes it tangible. It pulls everything within reach.
Let there be a willingness to learn.
Let there be empowerment.
Let there be transformation.
Let there be justice.
Let there be space for those our voices.
Let there be color.
Let there be optimism.
Let there be hope.
Let there be inspiring moments.
Let there be love. Let the invisible be visible.
Let there be power to the transfer student.
UCLA is accessible. There's no one at the gate saying you can't come here. The only gates that exist oftentimes are the gates that we put in our own minds. All right. Let there be dinner. No, just kidding. So we're nourishing our minds, our souls, our hearts at this moment. So I think, it was mentioned in the video a little bit about critical race theory. And that's one of the tools and one of the foundational frameworks that we use in the work that we do at CCCP. And actually, maybe some of you may have heard about it recently in the news. It's been in a lot of different places around the US that are trying to introduce this concept or idea or this topic for conversation, and people are reacting in all kinds of ways about that. But for us, when we think about the fact that there is needed a space like CCCP at the university, then it makes, obviously it's because there's something that's not working, right? So what's not working is that the educational pipeline is not giving everyone the same type of opportunities and access. And then we need the university and places that are interested in ensuring that everyone has access, everyone has an opportunity, needs to ask the question, well, why in the first place are these opportunities not available in the same way to everyone, right? So you can have different approaches to that question, right? So you can approach it as well. You can say these communities that are not transferring, as you can see the data that is being displayed here, You see the disparities, and then you can think, one can think about approaching this and saying, well, the students in these communities maybe don't have the motivation, maybe they don't have the intelligence, maybe they don't have the support, maybe their communities don't care about education. And that was oftentimes what has happened for communities like ours, right? Where the student is blamed for not doing well, and never looking at what are the systematic and the systems and institutions that in the first place create this disparity. So a different approach is critical race theory. Is looking at this from not the perspective of we need to fix you as a student, but then we need to fix the institutions so they can serve you better, they can support you better, they can motivate you better, and taking into consideration that we're all unique, right? And that what you bring is important. So one of the first things about critical race theory is that it is centralizing race and racism within the educational system, including places like UCLA, including the community colleges, and trying to figure out what are the best strategies to minimize the impact that that has had in our education. So it will challenge, of course, the way that people have thought about how to address the challenges of disparities in our society. And instead of just looking at the knowledge of those who are the ivory tower agents, meaning the people, the academics, is also placing that knowledge and giving importance to the knowledge that you all bring, right? Your experiential knowledge, right? So it's saying that what you have to say about your own lives, what you have to say about the experiences you have had in the K-12 system, at the community college, all of those experiences are important and valid, right? And it's also looking at how all your different identities, whether it's gender, whether it's sexuality, whether it's race, ethnicity, language, all kinds of ways in which you may identify yourself, that all of this intersect in some way. And there is always a power dynamic, right? In terms of how that takes place, right? So in terms of gender, we know, for example, that women make less than men for the same type of jobs, right? So all those different things intersecting create and often amplify those disparities as well. And then lastly, well, now that we know all of these different things and that we have, some kind of understanding on maybe like how we can address this, then the critical race theory's last tenet says, well, we need to do something about it. We can just know these things and not do anything, right? So that's the commitment to social justice. So for us, that commitment means that we need to affirm your experiences and affirm what you bring. And what you bring to the university is important. Obviously, if it wasn't important, we wouldn't have programs like this. We want to make sure that what you bring, which is unique and is not what we get from the freshman students, right? Is vital to what a place like UCLA is. UCLA is a research institution. We're creating new knowledge. So your perspective as knowledge makers, right? That is so important to the university, right? Because you will have a different way of looking at the different problems in any discipline that you're doing, whether it's sociology, whether it's computers, whether it's theater, right? How you will address the different questions that come up in your discipline are going to be informed by your experiences. And those experiences are unique and are going to give us different ways of creating solutions. So if you don't remember anything that we said today, remember this: what you bring is very valuable. Your experiences and what you have already accumulated as a person is of value. And as you're applying and as you're moving through, courses, make sure that you understand that worth that you bring. Okay. So that's really, for us, that's what really critical race theory is, how we use it. We want to make sure that we leverage what you bring, and instead of focusing on, the ways in which systematically you have been left out. We're focusing on what you actually, the strengths that you bring. And to talk a little bit more about that, we're gonna have Alejandro talk about community culture one.
Yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna be talking about community cultural wealth, which is also a type of framework used inside of education, right? But this framework is a subset or is a branch from what Santi just talked about, right? From critical race theory in education. The founder, kind of like the main person behind it, right? Dr. Tarayoso, who is at UC Riverside, was an early student of Dr. Daniel Solorzano, who's a professor at UCLA, who's one of the big people right here, right? Who does critical race theory and education work, right? And she developed this very powerful framework, right? That is an asset type of framework, right? There's a lot of frameworks out there that try to explain why students of color are doing bad, or why we succeed, or why we don't succeed, right? But this one, community cultural wealth, is an asset-based one, which sees our strengths rather than our weaknesses, right? So this framework is divided in seven different types of capitals, right? It's meant to explain how us as students of color come into the university rich, dripping, right? With wealth, with capital, right? Not the capital that you normally think of, right? When you think of capital, probably the first things that come to your mind are assets like houses, like cars, like, I don't know, money in your bank, right? That's what people normally think of as wealth or as capital, right? Which is the mainstream definition. However, Yoso is arguing that we come into these campuses, into UCLA, into Berkeley, into Stanford, into Harvard, into Santa Barbara, into Cal State LA, rich with different forms of capital, like social capital, familial capital, aspirational capital, linguistic capital, cultural capital, resisting capital, and navigational capital. Now I'm going to break down just two of these capitals, right? So, for example, aspirational capital, an example of that would be that maybe many of you want to transfer to UCLA, right? Or maybe some of you might want to transfer to Berkeley or to that other school, right? That is in the South, right? University of Spoiled Children, right? We're going to say it. You don't know how you're going to get there. You don't have the resources, right? You're first generation students, I'm sorry. Your parents didn't go to college, but you have the aspiration, the motivation, you have the willpower, right? The voluntad to get there. And you're going to do whatever you got to do to make sure you find out how to navigate financial aid, how to navigate registering for classes. You aspire, you have that push, right? Because you know that you're destined for something greater, right? And you're going to get it, right? If you keep pushing forward, you're going to talk to the right people in admissions or in financial aid. You're going to find yourself a mentor. You have that aspiration, right? To move forward. That's aspirational capital, right? Another type of capital is linguistic, right? Linguistic, maybe some of you speak 2 languages, are bilingual, or maybe some of you, talk, from your community, right? Street talk, right? You speak Kalo, right? Or you speak, Black African-American English, right? Ebonics, right? Maybe you speak all these different type of, like, not necessarily languages, but dialects, or the way that you speak English a little bit differently. That's something that's an asset. That's something that is rich, right? There's so much richness in your language, right? When European communities, right, or white communities try to steal, black language, right? Or try to speak Spanish or try to steal Spanish words and rebrand it and sell it back to you in forms of, you know, tequila, right? Like Casamigos or whatever it may be, right? Or all these different, they try to steal our languages, right? Because they know it's so powerful and so rich, right? That's linguistic capital. We have the ability to swap, to code switch, right? To speak proper English. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Alejandro Juarez. I'll be one of your peer advisors today. But you know what? But today I'm your peer advisor and I'm gonna be telling you what is going on, how to navigate higher institutions, you know, be a fool and a full sovereign institution, all that, right? Knowing how to navigate that, that is a strength. That is deadly. Not deadly in a, you know, you're gonna kill somebody, but that's scary to people that we're able to navigate these institutions that weren't created for us, right? And we succeed and we will rise because we feel the power, and the power has always been inside of us. We've always had the power. We've always had the strength and the wealth to make it to wherever we got to get, right? And in this case, it's our higher education. It's our bachelor's, our master's, our professional degrees, our PhDs, and beyond that, right? So don't ever forget that when you're walking into campus or when you're going to your classes, when you're seeing a bunch of rich kids, privileged kids with cars and all this type of stuff and, you know, wearing the nicest clothes, just know that you're rich. Just know that you're dripping in gold, in wealth, in familial, social, cultural, resisting capital, and all that type of stuff, y'all. Sounds good? Can you feel the power? I need to hear it in the chat. Can y'all feel the power? Damn right. Dripping in finesse. Yes, 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 yes. Y'all feel the power. Definitely. That, and that's community cultural wealth. Please check it out. It's available online. Just literally Google it and you'll find out that research article. It's powerful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. You inspired me and I'm done with school. I'm gonna go back. Thank you, Alex. So the goal of the program, of course, is to motivate, which Alex honestly did. I mean, he motivated me, woke me up. It's to inform and prepare students to transfer from a California community college to a selective top-tier research institution such as UCLA. Now, something that we really do want you to understand is that this program is not only for UCLA, okay? Yes, we speak highly of UCLA. Yes, we're always promoting it because many of us attended, and this program is based at UCLA, but we want to help you reach whatever it is that you want to, whatever goal it is that you have. So whether it be going to UCLA or whether it be going to UC Santa Barbara or whether it be going to USC or whatever it is that you want to do, a Cal State, that is our goal. We aim to motivate understanding our different and rich community cultural wealth, which Alex just spoke on. CCCP believes that given the right and the best institutional support, we can reach our highest potential. We aim to inform. CCCP provides transfer knowledge, resources, and allies to increase transfer rates. In addition, we discuss systematic barriers and individual agency, like Santiago previously stated with critical race theory. Prepares transfer success, college graduation, and graduate school career achievement does not begin after community college student transfers. It starts now. So hearing about and listening about stories on success stories regarding graduate work or moving forward with your educational journeys, that's stuff you're going to be hearing a lot about because we want you to keep going if that is something that you want to do. Okay. So our CCCP Scholars Program does aim to target populations, okay? And many of you fit these populations. CCCP targets students who can most benefit from a student-centered and social justice-grounded program focusing on educational equity. So those communities that ultimately can't afford, you know, to pay for a counselor to be guiding them hand by hand on every single thing. Our program aims to help those students that are first in their family to go to college, that come from low-income backgrounds, that are non-traditional, which means that you didn't go to college right off the bat after high school. Maybe it took you a while. I know it took me 9 years to go back. I didn't go right away because I had to work. So that's who we aim to help. Underserved communities, of course, those of you who are at community college, and those that are part of the California's higher education equity plans. Now the requirements, like any program, we do have requirements that you have to follow, okay? You do have to follow these, and these can be subject to change, whether some are get removed or we add others. It just, very much depends, and especially right now with what's going on with the pandemic, we really do aim to kind of not make it harder on you, but there are requirements that you have to follow. So some of the requirements are 1-year commitment starting this summer through spring 2022. You must attend a required summer activity, which are those webinars that we talked about in the beginning. Attend at least one CCCP sponsored activity each quarter. So we go by quarters, and we do have 3 quarters, which is fall, winter, and spring. Unlike community college, which goes by semesters, which is, the fall and the spring, and then winter and summer are like intersessions. You must at least attend one. Oh, we already talked about that. Make at least one contact with a peer advisor each quarter. So you are going to be designated a peer advisor, and you have to make sure that you meet with them at least once a quarter. So one time in the fall, one time in the winter, and one time in the spring. You have to maintain enrollment at the community college. You are going to research and apply for at least one scholarship, okay? So yes, we're gonna make you apply to get free money. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we want you to start thinking early on that you do have to think of different ways to fund your education, okay? Because sometimes that's what it comes to, is finding other ways, either to avoid loans or just to help you out getting that free money. Maintain and update your contact information. Just let us know, hey, I changed my phone number. Hey, I updated my email. That way we can keep track of you and let you know, and sending you all the right information to the right place. Report academic and transfer progress each semester. So that means that you do have to complete the UC TAP, the transfer admissions planner. You do have to create an account and keep track of your grades and your classes. You do have to input that. But if you're new, you are going to be getting help from your peer advisors to help you do that. Complete a program entrance survey in the summer and a program exit survey at the end of spring. And if you are admitted to UCLA, like you see many of the students that are peer advisors right now, they used to be in your shoes, they came back, applied, and now are peer advisors. So giving back, right? So if you do come to UCLA, we would love to have you come back and help others. And that's pretty much it. Those are the requirements.
Okay. Thank you, Perla. All right, so now you heard a little bit about what the requirements are. You heard a little bit about what the timeline is. And now you're like, okay, I want to apply. So more or less, this is kind of like what would happen throughout the year. So right now we're still accepting applications for the Power to the Transfer webinars. And once you send your application, we will send you the links to the webinars. You will do at least one of those. So that's the one activity in the summer that we would ask you to do. Then in the academic year, we will assign a peer advisor, as was mentioned earlier. And we will ask you to do at least one contact with that peer advisor each quarter. So fall, winter, and spring. So three contacts in the year. So fall, you do peer advisor contact, and then we will have an activity, again, because we are not sure how the pandemic is gonna impact our campus at this point. They may be remote, they may be in person, or there may be a hybrid version of that. So as we're getting closer to the fall, we'll be able to tell you how that's going to happen, or in that potentially you may even have options to do it in person or to do it through Zoom. So again, you'll need one of each peer advisor contact and the activity, one of each fall, winter, and spring. All right, so the application process is not as difficult. We, again, because of the pandemic, we understand that you already have, you're balancing a number of things already. So what we want to make sure that we did this year was to streamline the process a little bit more. And what we focus on was just getting the most essential information that we needed from you. So honestly, I think the application can probably be filled out in about 20, 30 minutes at the most. Creating a UCTAP account probably will take you about 10, 20 minutes, and then you'll be done. So it's not going to be a very intensive process. We used to require essays, but again, because of the pandemic, we want to make sure that we're not making it more difficult. I mean, we're an access program, and we will make it more difficult during the pandemic. That totally will defeat the purpose. Okay. All right, so the webinars, this is kind of gives you the information about the webinars. Again, each of the webinars is looking at a different community and how they experience, how that specific community experiences education, how their educational pipeline looks, meaning that what happens to a student, let's say, who is a Chicanx, Latinx student who starts in kindergarten. And as they move through the K-12 system and going to higher education, what is going on? So you can, you're going to learn a little bit about that in each of the webinars. You're also going to learn about resources and community. I think one of the things that's really important, was really important to us, was building community. I think that's, we understood that that's something that for most of us, it was what allowed us to be able to move through these institutions, that we had a community within and outside of the university. So I think that's one of the things that we want to highlight in each of the webinars, that there are communities that are critical to the success of the students that we work with. So you can see here that these are the different webinars. Again, you'll find those on the website. The dates are listed here, but again, you can look at those in the website as well. Once you submit the application, once you submit your UCTAP, we are going to review it, and then once you're selected, we will send you an email with two forms, two online forms. One of them is a participation agreement. Basically, it's going to be the requirements that we listed and saying that yes, you agree to do those, and that and then we transfer knowledge survey, just to kind of have a baseline of what you already know. So again, that's building upon what you have already. Once we have received those, then we will send you the website with all the links for all the webinars. You need to do at least one from this list. You can do as many as you want to. That would really be up to you. But yeah, at the very least one, and as many as you like. I'm a geek, so last summer, I made sure I went to all of them because it was just great to learn about just all the different communities that we work with. So, and we have really great speakers that come in. So it's definitely, for me, it was a treat, for sure. Okay, and this is Miguel.
Okay, so the returning scholars, it means that students who are current or former scholars will continue at a community college in fall 2021. They can submit a new application. For instance, one of the requirements is that met the satisfactory of current and former year requirements. Number 2, complete the CCCP application by the deadline. 3, update UCTAP information. All returning scholars can apply to P2TT-W, but for Site Plus, must meet stated requirements and complete all essays. CCCP profile ID, returning scholars are asked to enter their profile ID number, which should have been included in the 2021 program acceptance email. If you cannot find it, call us or email us, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
All right, y'all, just a further breakdown of your academic year activities. You have the individual appointments with your peer advisor 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. And then you have your cohort/group activities 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. And then you have the webinar opportunities and events. So that would be webinars or in-person activities. And those are the 3 you'd have to complete fall, winter, and spring. And then don't forget to apply to that scholarship.
Boss? You still with us, boss? Okay, I think, yeah, well, he told me that his phone might be not working, but so let me talk a little bit about this. Just kind of give you information about what the activities are going to be about. So in the both in the summer and the academic year, what we are again trying to do is to focus on the different populations that that we work with, and to make sure that that we're addressing not only the academic aspects of the transfer process. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with those academics. A lot of times it has to do with everything else that is going on in your life. And then we want to make sure that we are honoring and addressing and including that information as well. Okay, as is mentioned, our focuses are very much about empowerment. So even though we talk about this framework of systematic barriers, we want to make sure that you also understand that we have agency, that we have power, and that we are able to work through those barriers and to at the same time try to minimize or entirely get rid of those barriers as well. Of course, we're going to talk about transfer information. So, whether it's admissions, the application process, transitioning to the university, those are going to be some of the information we're going to share with you. And then support, again, focusing on community building, opportunities beyond just the classroom opportunities, right? Because particularly at a place like UCLA, if you only go to class, you're probably missing out on everything else that is so important and that makes UCLA really this great place. Whether it's research, internships, study abroad, student organization. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of that, and we want to make sure you know about those even before you get to the university. And then, of course, I think it's important just to get to know each other as well, as you're navigating this, and just look around in this room. In this room, there may be already doctors in the making, lawyers in the making, teachers in the making, CCCP directors in the making. So that's just look around. This is going to be your social network in the future as well. All right, I'm going to start with Miguel.
Okay, so the UCLA transfer students. For the first one, it says individualized assistance. This means that PAs are assigned a cohort of scholars to assist throughout the year.
All right. Sophie?
All right, so resource sharing, sorry, y'all. Peer advisors share their own process, resources, and strategies for success.
And if you can do the last one too, I think
Yeah,
I could do it, yeah.
Oh,
The
he's
network.
back?
Yeah. So the next one is network teams. So PAs collaborate with peers, alums, UCLA, and community college staff. So we'll be reaching out to like, your coordinators for like the Latino programs or, Amoja. We'll be collaborating with like current alums, that just graduated to make sure they come back and really share like their testimonies and get y'all connected to make a bigger network of like, future Bruins and current Bruins and past Bruins.
Thank you, Alejandro. Yeah, and I think that's also important. As you're assigned a peer advisor, that peer advisor may not necessarily be in the discipline that you're in, but we have a whole cadre of other peer advisors who they will rely upon. So if let's say that you're a sociology major, but you got assigned a mathematics major, that person will connect you with someone to also get a little bit of that information about your discipline as well. And so I'm gonna ask these three folks who are here, and since you're here as well, all four of them were scholars at one point. And I just want to kind of get, if you can share with us, what was that like for you? So why don't we start with Alejandro before his phone dies?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Santi. So I'm sorry, the question was, what was it like before we found CCP?
Yeah, what was that experience for you like, being a scholar?
Yeah, so to me, I really had like I know that I wanted to graduate, like that I wanted to graduate Mount SAC and transfer, but I didn't know where. Like I just knew that I needed to do it because I had a lot of really good friends that were just like transferring already. And I was like, damn, like, how do you do that? And I would ask them, right? But they would be really caught up, like focusing on them, But every chance they would like share a little bit of knowledge and just say, hey, like, this is what you got to do to transfer. Like, go check out this counselor, and all of that, right? And one of my friends that was in that process of also trying to transfer, talked to me about CCP, and like really like opened that door for me to apply. And she was super persistent for me to apply. But before CCP, just to take it back there, was that I was just planning on, like, I was thinking about transferring, and specifically, I was just going to transfer to my sister college, which is like Cal Poly Pomona, which is over, like, it's literally 3 minutes from Mount SAC. It's over the hill, which is like the feeder college, right? We all might have some of those colleges like that, right? But when I joined CCP, they opened up the idea that I could transfer to UCLA, I could transfer to Berkeley, I could transfer to wherever I want, when before I would just kind of like, oh, well, I'm just going to go to that. Everyone's going over there, so I'm going to go over there, to Cal Poly, or I think this is what I need to do. Not really like, no, this is what I want to do, or this is what I need to do. It was kind of like, I think, what I want to do. Like, didn't really know yet. So yeah, that's my experience here.
And which program did you do, Alejandro?
Part of what? I'm sorry?
Which program did you do?
Oh, I did Native American and Pacific Islander. And I only did CCP 1 year. People did it multiple years, but I just did it that last year that I was graduating and transferring. Yeah.
I feel like I've known you forever and ever at this point. All right, so Mai, do you want to go next?
Hi, everyone. Is there a reason why we're not turning on our cameras? No, it's all good. Prior to CCCP, in high school, nothing really has changed in terms of me being really involved in academics, like extracurricular, and I dedicated my whole high school career. Santi already heard this spiel like a couple webinars back. Yeah, but I dedicated my entire high school career in hopes of the, 4-year university. Because, when you think you're 18, you think you know everything about life. Prior to CCCP NPI 2017, where I was blessed to meet my brother, there was directions. I was planning to go back to transfer to University of Oregon because that was a university that I got accepted. And when you graduate, I was trying to like calm down. I'm like, no, mom, it's okay. I'm gonna go there, later. you know, like trying to operating out of lack, if you will, out of compensation. And there wasn't really any direction or clarity. It was just kind of like, okay, let me just get these 2 years out and then I'm out. But then Triple CP came. I will never forget in May 2017 when Uncle Alfred or Alfred Herrera, the director Triple CP, he came and spoke to our Sac City Pacific Islander Club talking about CCP that, oh, it's a 5-day stay, academics. And I was like, whoa, this fits everything on, you know, on my resume. And he was talking about like academics, but it was mostly like the free food that drew me. I was like, whoa, like, so the reason why that's so vital and important because a lot of us, you know, we don't know what we don't know. Um, what Uncle Alfred did, or what Triple CP later on really did, was really remove that veil that wow, we can, you know, compete at these levels, or you know, we can, you know, dream or achieve these things, and it really does come down to exposure. So, um, being at these spaces and now graduated, you know, I think of my friends and I think of those, not even within Sacramento, shout out to anyone from NorCal or anyone, you know, who do we know in life who, you know, our level of exposure is just stunted because, and Triple CP was that veil. So yeah, it's always a special part. But yeah, but ever since then, locked in with MPI, Triple CP, it was game over. It's like, hey, let's get this. And yeah, that's it. Bye, Ale.
All right, thank you. And let's ask Sophie.
Yeah, hey y'all. So yeah, I guess for me, I didn't really think about UCs. I really did not. They weren't in my mind. I was just kind of going to where Alejandro put it perfectly. Like you're not really doing what you want or what you think's good for you. You're just kind of doing what you think you should do. And so I didn't really think about it until one day, Cherry, who's not here anymore, but she just like stopped me at Pierce and she's like, do you want to go to UCLA? And I was like, she put me on the spot. And then I was able to do STP, the summer transfer program, stay at UCLA for 5 days, meet everybody, all these amazing people. And it was just, it's crazy because you kind of just go through that experience in your head on your own. But then when you're with these people, you're like, oh, wait, like they're just like me and they had those same thoughts and they're empowering me. And we just kind of empowered each other and you feel sort of invincible at that point and you just kind of go for it and you just like throw everything at this like application and then you just have to wait and see what happens. But it was really awesome as a scholar, just getting all of that like empowerment and support and understanding that hidden curriculum.
Thank you, Sophie. And so the three people you heard right now, they just finished or are about to finish their degree. And I think all of them have done research and they've been involved on our campus and not only gain from the campus, but also giving back to the campus as well. But we have our newest entry student, Miguel. So Miguel, if you want to share a little bit about the program you did and your experience as a scholar.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Santi. My name is Miguel Beltran. I'm a transfer student from Pasadena City College, but I'm also a proud first-generation college student, the first to graduate from my family. My experience at college, but more so, I guess, from the UC system is that, to be honest, I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know if it was possible. I didn't know if people were just, filling these thoughts, or selling me fake dreams, because coming from most favorable circumstances and growing up in an environment where you're surrounded by, individuals who, are really trying to make it out, sometimes, you run into situations, where you're experiencing that, so I came in there, with my head as in, I'm gonna give it a shot. But again, I was keeping my feet to the ground, and I remember, when my counselor, Juan Pablo, told me, I stepped into his office and he showed me different banners, of several schools, one of them being UCLA. And he told me, do you want to go there? Deep down, I did want to go there, that's been my dream school, UCLA. For me and my homies, getting accepted to, this prestigious institution is like getting accepted to, the NBA. It's like making it out for us, But I told them, you know what, I just want to, graduate college, I don't want to, think about the future that much, So he told me, no, like there's this program called CCCP, and I know a good person, Santi, and he comes here too, I'm gonna connect you and, you're gonna do the summer program. Well, I told him, okay, cool, he gave me the form to fill it out. To be honest, I didn't fill it out because, there's something called the imposter syndrome. That's when, the doubt started kicking in, I was basically, is my own mind, playing tricks against me that, well, you don't belong here, look at your surroundings. How many people do you know that actually went to these schools, don't be delusional. So, a week passed, once the application was due and, he called me up and said, what's up? Are you excited to go to that CCCP? And I told him, to be honest, I didn't turn it in. And he told me, what? Don't even worry about it. So, he gave him a call and man, it's a blessing that I actually got in though, and I did the program. I got assigned to a peer mentor because I did in 2019, I did the CCCP Men of Color program and I got assigned to my brother Alejandro as my mentor. And, he's been with me every single step of the way, and little by little, he was empowering me, gave me resources, introduced me to a larger network of individuals, and really I was at a community college level. I was already building the network at UCLA. And I even got to stay at the dorm for 5 days. Again, I got to eat free food, and really I was, for the first time, I got to see myself at that level, not just, through, wearing the shirts, right? Because so many of us, I was one of the individuals that I will wear the UCLA sweater, but to actually be accepted to that dream school, it gives you a different feeling. It makes me walk, with my head a little bit higher, with my chest a little bit out, but not in a way where I'm putting people down around me, but writing for my community, like, come on, let's go, we got this, where I came from and look where I'm at, but it wasn't by myself though, it was a community of people around me, that gave me the wings, with inspiration that I too can make it there. Here I am, and just like I made it here, I firmly believe that each and every one of you, could do it too, because your experiences, you already got, most of the circumstances that many of us go through, if we're able to rise above that, we could handle this, It's just that we just need, resources and opportunities, and this program does that, so yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Miguel. That's thank you for sharing that and being very transparent about it. So thank you. Yeah, I remember Pablo calling me about you. All right. And the next thing we want to talk about is we do have an initiative that we just started this last year that focuses more on STEM careers. So if any of you are in any of the STEM programs, we have more intentional programs to not only assist you in that admissions process, but also to develop opportunities in doing research. One of the things that is not essential, but is definitely something that a lot of students who go directly into university have the opportunity to do in the STEM field is to be in labs and to do and to work with faculty and grad students doing all kinds of different things that are preparing you for the next step. So that's one of the things that this initiative is also trying to do as well. So Aurelia Reimer is our coordinator for that program. And we are going to have more opportunities. We're going to have, there's two webinars this summer that are going to focus on STEM. And there is a number of opportunities that we are in the process of developing for the next year as well. So again, if you're a STEM student, this is definitely something you want to be part of, because it's not only going to prepare you for admissions, but it's also preparing you beyond that. Grad school, med school, dental school, public health, and you name it. That's pretty much, that's what this program is going to be working on. All right, so, and the way that we do our work is that we don't do it by ourselves. Again, I rely upon the folks within UCLA and the other universities to assist us in ensuring that we are giving you, again, those opportunities. We work with all the other 8 campuses. So if you're interested in any of the other UCs, we have colleagues that we work with regularly. As a matter of fact, one of them just did a UC Tag workshop this week for one of our programs. So we work very closely with them. So whether it's Berkeley, Riverside, Merced, any of those campuses, we are going to, and you're interested in those, we can connect you with those programs as well. We can connect you with departments within the university as well. Again, I think for us, it's not about just we need you to keep you here in CCCP. No, it's the opposite. We want to like push you. CCCP is the door to everything else that can be available to you. And we also work with community college people. So Perla's going to talk about that.
Yeah, and just like Santi was mentioning about having connections with other UCs and other people at those at those universities, we also have connections at the community college. So CCCP team works with community college students, staff, and faculty to enhance the transfer standing culture. So we really do want to push you to use the resources on your campus. So we do have connections there. Like I can speak for LACC. I know the director of many of the programs there. So if you need something, let me know. And then let's just say that you go up to one of the peer advisors and you need something, or you want to know about tutoring, or you want to know about something, like I'll try my best to connect you with whoever you need to get connected at the school. So we really want you to use all of those resources at the school to help you, because ultimately you got to put in all that work and everything at the school. So we really are going to be pushing you to use everything that your community college has to offer in order for you to keep going with that goal that you have to transfer on over.
Oh, I was in mute. So now we get to the actual application again. It's funny because UCLA was the birthplace of the internet, but our application looks like it was done in 1999. So, but we're working on updating that. So when you get to the application and the link, you can scan your phone for the QR code. You will get to this page, and in this page, what you will select is the PT-W session, and then it will give you the next field will be, you will select the June 14th to the 17th. That's the period for the summer for us. And then lastly, no, not lastly, in the next question, we just want to call to your attention because a lot of students get this one wrong. So this question is asking you if you have previously participated in any of our programs. And I think most students read it as as if like we're asking, are you interested in any of these programs? So if you haven't, then you just click on none. If you select anything else, it's going to ask you for the profile ID number. I remember when we mentioned for returning scholars, that will ask for that information. But if you haven't participated in any program, then just pick none. And it should not ask you for that. But there are some instances where you may have had, maybe you fill out a form, maybe like that, this form that you just fill out right now, right? The sign up form. We may enter that into the database and it will recognize that information from you. So then it might ask you for a profile ID number. If that happens, you can just email us or you can call us and we will look that information up for you. And then the rest of it will, the rest of the application is just pretty much, you know, straightforward type of questions. But if at any point you run into problems or you think, oh, I don't know how to answer this, of course you can call us, you can email us. And in a little bit, we'll talk also about our application assistance lounges that we have throughout the week. You can just, you know, stop by any of those lounges and we'll help you with the application.
All right, so another requirement that y'all have to do, so it's not only an application. At the end of this, I am going to quiz you and ask. There are two things you got to do. The first thing you're going to apply. The second thing is that you need to create a UC TAP account, okay? So you do have to do the UC Transfer Admissions Planner. So creating an account. The QR there, code, you can go ahead and scan it now and that will take you to the screen that you see there. And if you've never created one, you're gonna go ahead and go to the new to UC tab, create a student account, or I can't read, y'all, create an account now, and you're gonna create it. And what you're gonna do there is that you're gonna go ahead and input all of the classes that you've taken at community college and the grades. Okay, so if you've attended more than one community college, well, guess what? You're gonna have to put in all that information. Now, for this part, for the newer students, you just have to create the account. But it'll be a good thing to do and maybe work ahead because definitely the peer advisors can help you with the rest of the stuff. But if you want to work ahead, create the account and start inputting all your stuff. I would suggest to print out your unofficial transcript. I remember that's what I did. And then I would just highlight as I was inputting, just so I know that I inputted everything in there.
All right, so, and again, like as we said, that the application process shouldn't be that intensive, but we're here to assist you at any point. And just to add to Perla's flag about UC TAP, keep in mind that that document can also assist you in the future because that's the information you input in there in terms of the coursework. You'll be able to export that information into your actual application once the application comes around. So in a way, by doing that, you're already starting your application. Okay, so, and so we just, this, one of the co-authors of a book, I feel funny saying that still, you know, it's like, first of all, like, you know, talk about imposter syndrome, like even at, you know, almost 30 years of doing this type of work, I still feel, you know, very humble about this experience, and writing a book is no small feat. I mean, definitely it's something that was very challenging. And I do remember it was December 2019 when Miguel was also staying at the dorms that week. I was writing the biggest part of the book, my part, co-authored with our director Alfred Herrera and Professor Dimple Jen from Cal State Northridge, the Power to the Transfer book. And I just remember sitting at the dorms and just staring at that computer and saying, me, I have something to say about this. You know, just again, that imposter syndrome, just feeling like what I had to say, you know, that voice in your head that says, That's just this is not you. But it is me, and just I think the one good thing I said there in this book, I think, was that is this quote, is that you will succeed not in spite of being a community college transfer student, but because you are one, right? And that's really goes to the value of your community college experience. It's really elevating that experience above that stigma that often is attached to community colleges, right? We all know the way that a lot of people talk about community colleges, and what I have found in these 30 years is just brilliant, amazing, committed, loving folks at the community college who have demonstrated more than in so many different ways that the community colleges are a great place for scholarship. And what you're doing right now at your community college is scholarship, and what you are going to get from that experience is going to help you navigate a place like UCLA. It's going to be a different type of experience here, but you already have a foundation, right? You're already taking college work. So that's the, I guess, again, what I felt very compelled to say is that in these 30 years that I have worked with community college students, I have found that what you bring, again, is not only important and is as Mike has said, sacred, right? Your stars are sacred, but also they're vital to making UCLA a better place for all of us. So what you bring is also going to be vital to UCLA. So again, UCLA needs you as well, All right, and this is Miguel.
Yep. So the UCLA transfer admission rates, let's start off with UCLA admission rates. The rate is 26%. And then if you're a CCCP scholar, that raises your acceptance rate up to 50%. And then the CCCP scholars UC admission rate continues to go up all the way up to 95%. So again, it's a very good way of beating the odds, by you applying to this program and being a part of this program, because your chances of getting accepted to a school like UCLA, keeps going up versus somebody that, is coming straight off high school, But since you're a transfer student, your chances are much higher.
And one thing, again, I had mentioned in the beginning of our presentation was that you being part of this program not necessarily means that you are just interested in going to UCLA. Yes, some of you are, but some of you can end up anywhere. Some of you have dreams of attending schools outside of California. So as you can see on the map in front of you, there are students that have transferred pretty much everywhere. I know you'll see in a little bit, Armando, was doing Columbia. That's for his graduate work, or there's so many students that just go everywhere. You can transfer anywhere. You can do all your graduate work anywhere, everywhere. It's all, again, depending on you and where you want to go. It not necessarily only has to be UCLA. You can go to ASU, to the University of UC Santa Barbara. It could be just anywhere.
All right, y'all, CCCP scholars get dollars. Okay, so we have some people who have received the Jack Kent Cook Scholarship: Diana Castro and Alexander Richardson, Brian Zamora, Lara, I'm gonna totally butcher this, Mientes? I hope I said it right. I'm so sorry, Lara. But I'm going to highlight Brian just because I worked with him. He is not only a Jack Kent Cooke scholar, he's also a Law Fellows scholar, I believe. He did undergraduate Law Fellows program at UCLA, and I think he also did McNair. So he is somebody who has received funding before, during, after the transfer process, and he's going out there and he's getting it.
Yes, and Santi just dropped the link for the Jack Kent Cooke scholarship. So if you're interested in applying, make sure you go and you read up on that because it's very important. That's a really great scholarship. Another thing that we wanted to talk to you about is that CCP scholars get advanced degrees. Like I said, on the screen, you have 3 amazing mentees that, that have gone to many places. So scholars that have gone to many places. So we have Denise Phelps, came from Long Beach Community College, and I believe she just completed her master's at UCI in public policy. We have Armando Lizárraga from El Camino College, who went to Columbia, like I mentioned earlier, and obtained his master's in education, and he just graduated this year as well. We have Jesus Inegas from Los Angeles Mission College, who just, he's currently here at UCLA working on his doctorate degree. And then, so many countless others, I myself included, ended up at USC with my educational counseling degree. And then you can too. So not only are you focusing right now on your undergraduate and where you're going to transfer, but you're also going to start thinking about higher ed, where you want to do your master's if that's something that you want to pursue. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome.
All right, CCCP scholars are leaders. So we have Rebecca Redmond, served in the UC-wide Parent Student Advisory Board. Zuleika Bravo was the transfer rep in the UCLA student government. And then Jamal Muakil, I think that's it, Muakil, who's currently at UCSB, obtaining his PhD and is a current UC student regent. And essentially what we're trying to do is make you understand and empower you and let you understand that you have a voice. So if you are in a space where you are not actively seeing the changes you need to see, whether that's at your community college or at the university, understand that you have agency, you have a voice, you can make that change. So CCCP is here to empower you.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think that pretty much concludes. We wanted to show you the whole scope of what the program is about. And at the end of the day, is we want to make sure that whether you decide to apply or not, I think you should apply. But even if you don't, the center's here for the main reason that we want to make sure that as a transfer student, a community college student, as a student who has taken already, you're already taking the driver's seat of your own education, that you understand that whether it's through our program or through any other program, that what we are interested in is not only that you receive that education that you deserve, not only that you graduate from places like UCLA, but that you also have an amazing experience, an experience that is going to build you up, and at the same time, that with that knowledge, you're also going to be able to affect change, and if anything that the pandemic has shown us is that we're fragile, right? That that our world could easily not be right, but if we work as a community, we work to support each other, I think we can have better outcomes. And I do this work because, of course, I love working with community college students. It's just you know, I feel blessed every day that I have to come to work because I enjoy this. But my also hidden motive, not so hidden, is that I want changes in the society. And I think that because of the experiences that you bring, you are going to be driving a lot of those changes in our society. So, you know, hurry up and start making the world better for all of us. So thank you. And if there was anything else that our peer advisors or Perla wanted to add, and then if you have any questions, we will open it up for that. You know, sorry that we're going a little bit over time.
Yeah, I just wanted to, thank you to everyone who showed up. Please apply. This program is free. It's just knowledge that we want to give you, the tools to get you prepared to wherever it is that you want to do. Apply. I know we're going to go ahead and put our information on there. So if you need help, and if you're from LACC or Harbor, please reach out to me. Everyone has a different coordinator. If you're from Pierce, that's Alberto Moreno, Santi, Pasadena. We have Aurelia just doing STEM in general. We have Ariel, who's Southwest and West. So we have ELAC, we have Chelly. So just make sure that you email the right people. We've been emailing you like crazy, so you must have our information. But if not, I am going to put my information. If you need help with the application, please ask for help, because it's quick, it's easy. And if we can guide you through it, make a one-on-one via Zoom with us, and we can help you do it, even UC TAP. So I know that Santi just put our general email on there. I'm going to go ahead and put my email. But other than that, thank you so much for being here, for taking the initiative, and for thinking about your futures, which is very important.
There was a question in the chat about Site Plaza is already closed, but in the future, yeah, we do have other, those type of opportunities. We usually have them in the summer. So it would be for the next summer that we would be accepting applications. And hopefully by next summer, we'll have opportunities to be on campus. And again, we're working with the STEM initiative to create some other opportunities as well. But we're always looking to see in which ways we can enrich that community college experience. Again, because when the university creates programs, oftentimes is with students who are coming directly from high school. So we always have to be that squeaky voice in the university saying, what about community college students? What about transfer students? So we definitely are always seeking out those opportunities as well. So, so stay connected with us in whichever way. Again, hopefully you'll apply, but if not, then just stay connected with us. We want to make sure that, again, that you are taking advantage of opportunities that are there and created specifically for you. Any other questions before we close up? I know my stomach is saying, go eat, go eat. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Perla, Miguel, Sophie, Maya, I think she left already too. Okay, and Alejandro. We cannot do this on our own. We work as a team, and that's what makes it so much easier. So thank you for making it easier. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye, Sophie.
Bye. Take care. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good night, Santi.
You too.